And my dear friends, this is a book of history. Kenneth David Jackson, A Hidden Presence. This is in the National Library as well. 500 Years of Portuguese Culture in India and Sri Lanka. A wonderful book that talks about things that I work on, about cross-cultural interactions and the effects on both cultures, and talking about it with emotions and with beauty instead of, with sort of vengeance and anger and xenophobia and whatnot. So this talks about the fusion that happened and the art that was produced. So I'll just start with this, how the two cultures affected each other. Throughout Portuguese Asia, the strangeness of the image coexisted with the image of strangeness. While traveling in India in search of Portuguese artifacts in 1982, I entered a dark room in St. Paul's Cathedral on the remote island of Diu, where faces of saints and soldiers lay frozen and forgotten, actually ancient icons removed from the abandoned churches, gathered in eerie, motionless silence. On the opposite side of India, behind the St. Thomas Cathedral in Madras, an ancient stone tossed aside exhibited the simple and enigmatic three-word Portuguese inscription, Aqui zaz nada, here lies nothing. Here was a supreme emblem of an occult presence that in eloquent absence speaks of symbiosis in times past, right? So similarly, discovering graves and all of the things that were written, and I am quickly going through this, and again I will return to this. Among the captains, priests, and soldiers traveling to India were renowned Portuguese writers and intellectuals: Camões, Fernando Mendes Pintos, Garcia de Horta, Diogo do Couto, all of whom incorporated a vision of India into their lives and works, a sign of the impact of the discovery that transported the Luciads. And then, the travels of Mendes Pinto. While describing the Orient, they were also rewriting Portugal and the European Baroque through the reality of a new landscape. And similarly, um, here. These are books that, and look at this. I mean, look at this. I mean, the Portuguese themselves became unexpected subjects for the eyes of Asian artists, but to the extent that the Portuguese talked about the places that they were traveling to and traveling in. It says, I'm going to Bengal on top of a camel. I will bring back a bride perfumed with Bengal quince. Neville, 5368. The photograph in this collection returned to the time and space where these cross-cultural icons flourished and took their meaning from a maritime world system. Their arrangement follows the occult cultural history of the poetry of Mrs. Fernando Pessoa's profound expression of the theme of concealment underlying the Portuguese expansion. The photographic and poetic images of a civilization, both familiar and strange, created a resonance that evokes and unveils the hidden presence of Indo-Portuguese culture system in India and Sri Lanka, right? One could just go on and on. I want to take this. This castle was commanded to be built by the Viceroy of India, D. Philippe, in November 1646. Which castle? Monuments and mysteries. Ah, right. This is a book that one has to return to another time.